Well, Erin, you are all about awkward money conversations, so let's talk about it a little bit more. You got a new book coming out. Tell us why you tackled that subject. Why is that important?
Man, I love this question because I think about just the structure of how my series has gone. First, we're going to get it together. And it's just all the basics of getting your financial life together. And once you have it together, much like Anonymous, now we're going to level up to investing, which is really important too. But what happens when you have constructed your whole financial house if you can't communicate about it? If you can't set boundaries with people you love, if you can't engage in those conversations, if you can't talk to coworkers about how much they make in order to figure out how to negotiate for a better salary, if you can't tell your friends, I love you, but no, I don't want to spend money to be in your wedding that's going to cost me $3,000. If you can't ask your parents, have you done your estate planning? All of these kind of conversations are critical. And frankly, there's that whole notion that we don't talk about money. Oh, we talk about money all the time. We just don't necessarily say money. Like we talk about it in different abstract ways. And I think that that's really important to as well to acknowledge that when somebody makes a comment like, "Oh, I'm going to hold off having a kid until my oldest is in kindergarten so that I don't have to pay for daycare for two kids." That's a money conversation. Or talking about, oh, I'm moving out of the city into the suburbs because we need more space because we're expanding our family. We can't afford to do that here. That, again, is a money conversation. So whatever it is, you'll be shocked how often people are talking about money, but not being direct about it. So this whole book, really, it's split up into work, family, friends, and romance. And it's all about how to have all of those talks with all the different people in your life.
I love it. And one of the juicy conversations that I liked in there is about negotiation, because that's a powerful conversation. It might be awkward. It might feel weird, but man, is it powerful. So how do we get better at negotiating when it comes to work or a business that we run?
Well, I would definitely say the first thing is obviously collecting information. Cliche thing, ask your coworkers how much they make, which is true, but you know your workplace. You know if that's comfortable or if that potentially could be a threat to your job. And like, yes, legally, depending on your job, you're not supposed to be able to get fired for asking somebody else how much they make, but they can find another reason to fire you if they want to get rid of you. So you do have to make sure you understand the office dynamics and whether or not it's a safe move to ask other people. And if it's not, LinkedIn. That's going to be one of your best friends. You can just cold email people who do a similar job at a similar size company in the place either that you live or a similar size area. Start asking, hey, I'm trying to negotiate soon, or I'm up for a raise. I get the sense that I'm underpaid. You can give a reason if you want. Could you tell me how much you make? Or, and this I think is a very effective idea, especially for us freelancers who are trying to ask each other how much you make. Did you get paid over or under this amount? Did you make, $5,000, or did you make over or under $5,000 on that campaign that you just did? If you feel uncomfortable asking directly. The other piece that I really love, we hear so much, I don't want to say bad, but kind of classic, maybe like Gordon Gekko era 80s, like here's how you negotiate, blah, blah, blah. And one of the ones I've always heard is don't speak first. Whatever you do, you lose if you speak first. So I asked a bunch of investing experts, or negotiating experts, pardon me, for the book. Two of them just laughed when I said that. Because if you're going in to ask for a raise, you got to talk. You got to ask for what you want. So it's kind of bad advice to just go sit in there and like silently stare at your boss. Now, the counter being silence, though, is golden. And that is one thing you need to remember. Make your ask and then shh. Because so often we will talk ourselves back if it gets a little uncomfortable. And that's one that I think we can so frequently practice in real life, is asking things of someone. Your roommate ate your chocolate cake out of the fridge. You're sure of it. You bring them over to the fridge. I had chocolate cake in here last night. What happened? And little moments like that we can actually practice so that when we get in the room where it's a little less awkward to sit in the silence, because just try to be silent with somebody for 5 seconds. I'm not going to do it on this podcast and cause dead air, but it's really awkward.
Let's do it. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was pretty weird.
Yeah, and 5 seconds, you're like, get me to 5. I'm counting it. I'm like, oh, it's taking
I don't even think I made it. I think I stopped at 3. Man.
I counted Mississippilously
Okay.
to get there. So I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting it. It's worse. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. So get good at asking for what you want and then shutting up, because oftentimes we'll ask, it'll be awkward for half a second. They're like, but I can do less, or like, I'm just, whatever, I'm happy to have my job. Never mind. I don't want anything from you. Goodbye. Like, we talk ourselves out of stuff a lot.
Absolutely. I think your point on silence and control as well as collaboration is really important. I'm in a mastermind for my small business that I have here that you guys are listening to right now. And a big part of it is like we're talking about, sharing rates, sharing our wins, and sharing what we negotiated. And I think that just collectively raises all boats, especially in our small community that we have. So, and then everybody, with these awkward money conversations, this could be a big step for you in your journey wherever you are, with relationships, with work, with your romance, with family. So find this book. Erin, tell us where to find this book, and then how people can follow you.
Well, you can find it wherever books are sold. I am doing a plea to please support local small businesses during this time especially. So if you have one, please purchase from there. You can find me on Instagram at Broke Millennial Blog, on Twitter at Broke Millennial, and on my website, brokemillennial.com, where on Instagram every week I do an Ask Me Anything on Wednesday. So if you have an awkward money question, please come ask.
Perfect. Erin, thank you so much for your time today. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me back.